Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with yet another transfer talk show. The rumours around Aston Villa and transfers never seems to stop, and this time it is an Everton midfielder who is being linked along with many other Premier League clubs to Aston Villa, a Saudi Arabian international right back as well, and also another goalkeeper, this time from Brazil. So before we get into it, make sure you smash that like button and do hit that subscribe button. We are motoring on to 4,200 subscribers on the road to 5K. So please like, subscribe, and comment below your thoughts on the transfer rumours circling around the club. Now, yesterday we focused on John Duran and the deal with Chelsea potentially involving Ian Matson. We also looked at Jacob Ramsey potentially being interested on Bayern Munich. So lots and lots going on at the club. And today, reported in the Times actually that Aston Villa have made an inquiries to Everton about Amadou Onana, central midfielder. Obviously been in the Premier League for a few years now. And I think this would be an excellent signing. Now, we are in competition with a number of Premier League clubs, allegedly. One of them being Arsenal, who have held quite a long-standing interest in the player. Now, Everton potentially in a similar state to Aston Villa with regards to profit and sustainability. Obviously, they had the points deduction last season as well. So not out of the woods yet. So it's talked about around £50 million in terms of the transfer fee. Could we get him for less than that? And lots of people saying that this deal is more than on. It's one that we are actively pursuing. And I guess if Weston McKennie comes in with Douglas Luiz going, there's the links to Conor Gallagher. Maybe that's one that's going to go on the back burner a lot more. Maybe someone like Amadou Onana is the real interest. So let's take a look at his stats on SofaScore. For me personally, I think this would be a really good signing to make. I think physicality in that central midfield area, I think height, I think presence, and also ability to get across the ground. One thing he's probably not quite as good at the moment is goals and goal threat. So I'd like to see that operating more. And I do think he's maybe can push forward more than his role that he's been used in for Everton. But if you look at his heat map, obviously across the pitch, doesn't get into the box as much as I would like him to, and does skate around, the middle thirds, doesn't really get into the box too much, as I just said. But has a really good engine and does operate across the pitch. And we know that Everton are quite restrictive in terms of the way that they play, the way that Sean Dyche likes his midfielders to operate. So that could be something that is opened up a little bit more with him, and maybe you can dribble with the ball, maybe you can carry the ball further forward for us and gain distance and gain ground for us, but also utilize some of that long ball quality that he has. I know he does favour a longer pass. Sometimes that can frustrate, but when we've got Ollie Watkins, when we've got Leon Bailey, when we've got Moussa Diaby, you can get on the shoulder of defenders. That could be a real weapon for us. Now, he played 30 times this season, started 23 games, got 2 goals. So like I say, I would like to see that higher up. Only missed one big chance, so that would lend to the fact that he doesn't get into the box too much. As I say, that wasn't necessarily his role with the Everton side. He was more of a defensive midfielder and more about breaking up play. 2 goals with his head obviously can be dangerous from set pieces. Didn't get any assists, did create 4 big chances. We know Everton weren't a great goal scoring side, but that's something that we might want to see more from him on. 85% in terms of passing accuracy, 90% in terms of his own half, and 81% in the opposition half. So good at keeping the ball. 71% in terms of accuracy for long balls. So as I say, that's one of his strengths. That could be a real weapon for us if we were to sign him. 2.4 tackles per game, 5.3 ball recoveries per game. So very good in terms of recovering possession, very good in terms of tackling and those battles in midfield. And we've said so many times we've lacked a physical presence, a dominant presence, someone who's got a lot of height in that midfield area. So that would be a real kind of feather in our cap and a strength that we can utilize for the team moving forwards. 66% in terms of total duels won and 74% for aerial duels won. So really good in terms of that. We've said so many times about Aston Villa in terms of that midfield battle, maybe in terms of aerially for corners, set pieces, not having those options and not having, I guess, the strength in terms of defending set pieces as well as attacking them. So that could be a really, really, really good option for us. to explore. So for me, I think it's an excellent potential sign, and if we can get something moving with that, that would be great. I will look at getting Gareth on the show to maybe do a bit more of a deeper dive into Andre Onana, because and how he might fit in for Aston Villa, because in my opinion I think he would be a really really good signing. But as I say, Arsenal are interested in him as well, so the likelihood of Aston Villa against Arsenal, that's a tough ask. However, I would imagine that we could maybe offer him the I guess the more prominent first team position, especially if we let Douglas Luiz go. So maybe that could be something for us. But yeah, I think we'd be up against it in terms of Arsenal. But if they pull out of the race, I think we would be in pole position to sign him. So that would be a really good one. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Another one is Saudi Arabian international right back Saud Abdul Hamid. Now, interesting one this, because Sam was talking on the show on the fans forum the other night about a player who we might be able to sign to capitalize on expanding markets. And this player, captain, I believe, of his club side, Al Hilal, and I believe he might be captain of Saudi Arabia at the moment, or certainly an ever present, 24 years of age, and he could allow us to, I guess, expand in the Middle East, in Saudi Arabia. We know what's going on with the league over there. We know how much they're trying to expand and sign players from the Premier League in particular into that league to expand it and to grow its name. What about the other way? What about us, Aston Villa, signing one of their best players, one of their main players, to expand there? And if you think about us trying to grow revenue, grow, expand our brand, expand our name, this could be a real kind of strength for us. So that would be something that would be something to exploit, and also the fact that he could be a very good player. Now, it's said that we are looking to bring him in. He's had a number of really good seasons in the Saudi league. Now looking to test himself in European competitions. Nottingham Forest is said to be the other English club interested in him, as well as clubs in France. I think Toulouse and Marseille interested in him, and I believe it's around about the 10 million euros mark, maybe rising with appearances. So he could be a really good player. We don't know too much about him. Obviously, Matty Cash is one that's potentially needed to be upgraded on. Is this type of player an upgrade on him? I'm not so sure. You've got Nedeljkovic coming in, who wants to compete for first team football. I believe his strengths are speed, ability to get forward, and also to recover. In terms of his SOFA score, obviously you're looking at a Saudi Pro League that isn't of the standard we know of the Premier League. But in terms of his ratings, very, very consistent ratings there. Likes to get up and down the pitch, gets into the box as well. Played 32 times, 29 starts, scored 3 goals, and one with his left foot, two with his right, won a penalty, has 4 assists as well, created 4 big chances. So obviously likes to get forward. 88% in terms of passing accuracy, 90% in his own half, 81% in the opposition half. Now, again, I'm tempering this with the fact that it's the Saudi Pro League and not a European league, and obviously not the Premier League. So would take an amount of time to adjust. But if we're talking about pace, if we're talking about reading the game, if we're talking about intent to get forward, then those are things that you've got. And then Emery and the coaching staff can work on the other parts of his game. So if we've got the component parts, we've got the basic parts in there, then that can be really good. So ball recovery is 4.8, 10 clean sheets he was part of, one clearance per game, no real errors. So again, something that can be worked on, and at a reasonable price, a high quality player, a very fast player, very quick player, someone who I imagine would be really dedicated to want to progress in the Premier League. So for me, a potential good signing to make. Whether he would be coming in as first choice, that would be the question. And would I be comfortable in losing even Matty Cash to bring him in? I probably would have to say no. I'd want someone a little bit more high profile, and then this player Saud to learn from him and challenge that first team spot. We're also in the market for another goalkeeper, Junior, from Brazil, Luiz Junior. So that's going to be an interesting one. Looking at again the 8 to 10 million euros, rising to I think 12 million based on appearances or whatever bonuses. Was at Famalicão at the moment, has 120 appearances since 2020. and I believe is on the sort of on the radar for Brazil in terms of the younger teams, the age group teams. So this is an interesting one. 23 years of age. Would We've just signed Joe Gauchi. We've got other goalkeepers that have been out on loan, done very, very well. So Sinisalo, one of them, so it's interesting the number of goalkeepers that we've got. Are we looking to move Robin Olsen on? Malmo, I believe he's been speaking to about returning back. So could that then open up a spot for another goalkeeper? Or would we sign him and keep him on loan at maybe one of our feeder clubs, and then for him to kind of get the visa in process and everything like that, because there could be issues there, and then bring him in after a couple of years. So one to watch out for, an interesting one there. I do want to, before I finish, say a huge rest in peace to Matej Sarkic, ex Aston Villa goalkeeper. I believe he was Millwall's number one last season, who sadly died today or overnight at 26 years of age. Just horrific news and terrible news, and was a really, really up and coming goalkeeper, very, very highly rated. Always was on the radar for Aston Villa as one to come through, and then went off and made his career and progressed his career, was playing in the Championship. So really, really sad news for him. So I hope my thoughts go out to him and his family, and also to Kevin Campbell, who we heard today as well, passed away at age 54, I believe, after a short illness, and such a lovable character on the TV. And obviously Nottingham Forest, Everton, and Arsenal player. Just such sad news, and was a big supporter of fan channels and podcasts. I know particularly Arsenal ones and Nottingham Forest ones and Everton ones. So really, really sad news. So my thoughts go out to his family as well. So really sad occasion. And yeah, as I say, thoughts go out to everyone connected to Kevin Campbell and to Matej Sarkic. But yeah, that's it from me in terms of the transfer roundup. Two or three interesting players there for us to focus on. We'll be back with more shows. I think Fans Forum will be coming up on Tuesday. More transfer talk shows. I might be jumping on a pod in short very soon with potentially with Luke with the England watch along. So look out for that. That'd be great. And yeah, hopefully get on with Gareth as well to do a bit more of a deep dive into some players who might be of benefit to Aston Villa that we might want to take a look at. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, get your comments in on your thoughts on those transfer links. Thank you all for watching, and as always, remember, we'll follow the Villa.